everyone, my name is Jessie and welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about the series that I will not be finishing, unfortunately. These are series that I may have started and read the first book all the way through and decided, you know what, didn't love it, not worth going through the rest of the series. I do not have that many books on this list because I am very, very committed to when I start a series, finishing that series. I usually pick up books where I have a very good idea that I'm going to enjoy that series. So most of the time I do end up enjoying my series that I pick out for my shelf. And I hate not having a complete series. So especially if I know that I'm not going to finish a series, I usually won't keep those books. So a lot of these I don't have physically. The first book I'm going to talk about that is on my shelf is Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. I thought the first book and the second book were fine. They both received 3 stars from me, but I couldn't tell you anything that happened in this book. I can't tell you any characters' names, and it wasn't that long ago where I read them. I think it was just a year ago. I remember while reading, my mind was drifting a lot. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood for this kind of read. I've heard a lot of people love this series, so if you love it, that is so great. I love Susan Dennard as a person. I follow her on social media. She's a great author, and these books are very well written. For me, though, they just didn't connect, so I probably won't be completing this series and won't be picking up Blood Witch. The next book that I have physically on my shelf is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and this one's by Stieg Larsson. So I've read the first 3 books in this series that were actually written by Stieg Larsson and did not want to pick up the 4th book, which was after he passed away. I don't even remember what his name is that picked it up and started writing his stories to kind of continue the series on. But I've just heard that they're not very good, and the first 3 books for me finished it off so well. It was such a wonderful conclusion at the end of the 3rd book that I don't feel the need to continue on with the series and read more of these characters. I had my fill with 3 books. I loved them. I thought they were great, and just based off of the reviews and all of the things I've heard about the 4th book, I don't know that it's worth continuing. Next book that I have on this list is Every Day by David Leviathan. I really disliked this book. I listened to it on audiobook and it was fine. I really, really didn't like it. I found the characters just so immature, and our main character was so incredibly selfish and did things that were so wrong. If you don't know, Every Day it is about a character who is almost like a soul that travels from body to body, and every day wakes up in a different person's body, inhabiting that person. So while this being is inhabiting any given person, that person has no control over what they're doing. They don't remember being inhabited by this spirit or being or soul, and it's about this being falling in love with another character. Very cool concept. I was very intrigued by that summary. Didn't deliver. It didn't deliver, and it just kept getting, I felt like every time we started a new chapter, it was like a new lesson, and the author was kind of just preaching to us these lessons, and maybe that was just me and the audiobook and the way I was interpreting it. I just really didn't like it, so I will not be continuing on with this series. I have no interest. Ugh. And the last book I'm going to talk about is The Darkest Minds by Alex Bracken. This is probably one of my least favorite books. That's so sad. I'm so sorry for those of you who love it. I am so happy for you. I couldn't stand this book. It's about this dystopian world, kind of in our time, but in the future, and this disease wipes out like 90% of kids across the globe. And the ones that it leaves behind that it doesn't end up killing, it changes. So these children find that if they survived this disease, they found that they had powers. So every child in this society has powers of some kind, and they're grouped by what power they have. And the adults are very threatened by the children. They think these children are dangerous and put them in camps and all this stuff, and end up, if they feel that they're too threatening of a child, they'll kill them. Which, does that make any sense to anyone? You've just lost like 90% of your child population, and you're killing the rest of them? To me, it was so like unrealistic how this society was handled, and it just never explained why it was handled this way. And so I, for not 1 second, believed the premise of this story. For me, it was not well explained. It just didn't register as something that could actually happen. So therefore, I was just totally disconnected from it the whole time. And the characters that we follow, to me, they were just bland. They didn't have like much personality. They were these 4 kids that we follow who are kind of in this like little group, and they are, fighting for survival, and you think that we would get close to these characters, and I never ever felt close to them, never related. So I ended up giving this, I think, 2 stars, and I really didn't enjoy it at all. Why were they killing the kids? Why? That's all I have for you. Those are the only books on my list where I don't think I'm going to be finishing the series. If there's any that I mentioned that you think I should give another chance and push through because it's worth it, definitely let me know in the comments down below. What are some series that you haven't finished? I'd love to know. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I release new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And until next time,